If you're thinking about using Spotify for Creators or any other free podcast hosting service, or if you are doing so already, keep watching. We're going to explore why free might cost you more in the long run than you think. Hey there, welcome to this mini-sode of Podcasting Insights with the Podmaster. I am the Podmaster, Neil Velio, and today we're discussing something every podcaster needs to hear. The hidden dangers, sometimes not so hidden, of free podcast hosting platforms. First off, why is free hosting so bad? Look, on the surface, free podcast hosting seems perfect, right? No upfront costs, it's easy to get started, and there's minimal risk of losing your cash if you decide it's not for you. But there is another catch. These platforms often control your content in ways you might not initially realize. Here's the biggest issue with this: control. When you decide to use free hosting services, you're essentially giving up some rights to your content. Do you ever read the fine print? Probably not. You're creative. None of us do. We just want to get in. We're excited. And that's exactly the problem. Those terms of service can mean your podcast can be taken down without notice if someone makes a copyright claim, whether justified or not. There's very little protection for you, the creator, and the process of handling takedowns is often handled by AI automation. So, imagine building your podcast audience episode after episode, only to wake up and find it all disappeared overnight because of a random copyright strike. Pretty scary, isn't it? So, is the solution to completely avoid free platforms altogether? Good question. But it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can still use platforms like Spotify for Creators to reach listeners, but think of them more as a practice run platform to get experience ready for your main project, or perhaps as a hobby podcast platform, rather than being your ultimate professional hosting solution. Now, I know that some big podcasts use Spotify for Creators to host their shows, but in many cases, there's been a deal done. The problem is also when your show does get big and you want to take it independently, Spotify for Creators sometimes doesn't make that easy for you, particularly if you have a big audience. Why would they want you to take your podcast away? You're bringing loads of ears to their platform. Here's the smart move, which I sometimes suggest to people if they are thinking of starting low-key. Pay for a reputable podcast hosting service on a basic tier. That way you can upload your content as you go, simultaneously while you're uploading it to Spotify for Creators, and put it in the cloud on another hosting platform that's ready to go whenever you need it. Sure, you're going to have to start again with building your audience if your audience is all focused around your Spotify for Creators feed. No way of getting around that. But if Spotify for Creators does, for whatever reason, decide to take your content down, you've still got it out there, ready to go. All you have to do is remove the old show and bring the new show into play. But say you take my advice and you just ditch that entire idea and you go straight to paying for a reputable host. Here are 3 key things you need to bear in mind. Number 1, the ownership. Ensure the hosting service of choice clearly states to you that you retain full rights and ownership of your content. You'll quickly suss this out from their terms of service. But, if in doubt, ask them. Most platforms have a help and support option. Number 2, reliability. You need to choose a platform known for strong uptime and reliability with their tech. And actually, this is another good reason to avoid a free podcast hosting platform. They make no guarantees of uptime. For obvious reasons, you're not paying them to. Number 3, flexibility. Look for features like easy content migration, detailed analytics, and the ability to easily distribute your podcast to multiple directories. Another common question is which podcast hosting platform can help you grow and maintain an audience? Well, the truth is, even the best podcast hosting platforms are not going to market your podcast for you. Sure, they'll give you the tools to help you do it more easily, but audience building isn't their problem. It's a you problem. It's always your responsibility. Growth is on your shoulders. But here is my quick strategy for you to grow your show using whatever podcast hosting platform you decide on. Focus on consistency, engagement, and above all else, quality. Deliver regular episodes, interact genuinely with any listeners, and always produce great sounding, valuable content. Protecting your podcast isn't just about where it's hosted. Always use original music or royalty-free options and get clear permission for your guests' content. Also, regularly back up your episodes. If you do all that, there's no good reason why any platform would take your content down. So here's the final verdict. The bottom line is that free platforms, while tempting, are very risky. If you want to protect your podcast and its future, maintain control, and set yourself up for long-term success, invest in your content. Buy a reputable podcast hosting account. That's it for this episode. Don't forget, follow this podcast wherever you're listening, share it with somebody you think might find it useful, and please do leave a review if you found the episode insightful. And I'll talk to you on the next episode of Podcasting Insights with the Podmaster.